Welcome to the vault of mini whiskeys.
Now this is a gift from William Hartnell.
Daniel Rex Whiskey.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
William Hart.
Hartnell.
Hartnell. William Hartnell, you magnificent bastard.
Fight.
It's George Dickel.
Oh, Dickel.
Right?
Yeah.
But they're bottled in bond release.
Now, Dickel's a big brand.
Which is 13 years old.
But I've never even seen the bottled and bond release.
Yeah, me either. You know why?
Why?
So this is a special edition from their new general manager and distiller,
Okay.
Nicole Austin.
Okay.
And this is her first creative venture.
Sure. Okay.
A 13-year-old George Dickel.
Making her mark.
Tennessee whiskey.
Making her mark there with the 13-year-old.
Oh, that smell.
George Dickel. Wow, that is...
84% corn, 8% rye, 8% malted barley.
That is, that's almost like a tangy.
Yeah.
Like a tang. Bing. Like it's not tannin, okay? There's a different character to
It's
that.
like the fake juice. Like, what was the one that it was, like when you get orange juice, but it's from the frozen container, and it still has that orange juicy citrus sour note.
You know what it is?
But it's not fresh fruit.
It's like a little bit of peanut dust and the tiniest, please don't overemphasize. What?
Candy heart.
A little bit.
Is that what you were going to say?
A little bit.
Ah!
Tiny bit. Of that,
Chalky.
like chalky.
Yeah.
Wow. That's,
It's almost like we finish each other's...
shut up.
Oh, I like it. I like it a lot. Tennessee whiskey.
So what this doesn't do, that a lot of bourbons do, is get too carried away with the sweet.
No.
This has bourbon sweetness.
Yeah.
But it's balanced up against some interesting, fairly unique bourbony flavors. There's that wood note.
It is dry.
That isn't, but it's not tanniny.
But the whiskey makes it almost chalky instead of tannin.
Yeah. It's not bitter as much as it is kind of like a dusty, chalky type of element in there.
Wow.
But then the sweet bourbon notes that are there are squarely bourbon notes.
Oh, that's great. Man,
So,
that's a really drinkable whiskey.
molasses.
Yeah.
Let's like actually name the notes. Mm-hmm. Molasses, honey. And then-
Slight candy, sugar chalk.
Yeah, I'm not getting...
Slight barrel note, but it's a weird representation of a barrel note.
I'm not really getting an apple, which I often get in bourbon.
I'm getting a citrus note in the nose, but not on the palate.
Yeah, so I'm going to dial in a little bit further and say that this probably not entry-level, gateway, super friendly and effortless. There's some challenging elements in here, right? And you said it's like a 50 proof?
Well, yeah, because it's bottled in bond, so it's 50% alcohol, 100 proof. Okay, so our next whiskey, not to compare to this one at all, but just because it's one that will be really hard for other people to get, is a gift from Jim Nash.
Jim Nash, you magnificent bastard!
Fight.
I did like a Power Rangers move there for some reason. Yeah. So we've reviewed this before, the Great King Street Artist Blend.
Yeah?
We've done a full review on it. So that's why I want to make it a secondary bottle here. But this is a specific version of this, which is cask number 3, a marrying cask of sherry, where they took the blend and dumped it into a sherry barrel, and then let it sit, and then bottled it. Right, so they started marrying it on June in 2017, and they bottled it a year and a half later. So it aged another year and a half before they actually bottled it.
Okay.
This is interesting.
Not a marriage of convenience.
No.
Wow. Dude, the butterscotch!
Right.
Oh, so much butterscotch on that nose.
I was going to have a share glass, but I realized I really want to drink this on my own, because I love this one anyway.
You gave me a pour.
I know, because I was going to split it between there, and I kept going, and I was thinking about what I was going to do, and then I realized I was still pouring. So I started pouring and got distracted.
This, and it may be because I'm coming off the heels of the Dickel, but this is probably one of the most squarely butterscotch noses I've had in a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah?
But there's still that beautifully musty malt around the edge. I'm trying to remember what they said was in this thing. Ooh. So it's more than half grain whiskey from Cameron Bridge,
and then
or almost half.
On the taste, there's this nice fruitiness that shows up.
Yeah, I was gonna say apples.
Yeah.
But then it's about 30% almost climb leash.
Okay.
Which I love.
Yeah.
Right? And then it's Highland malt blend and French oak, and then Linkwood whiskey.
Yeah, on the taste, I'm getting apples, also a little bit of strawberries in there. And then the finish ends up being surprisingly dry. Surprisingly dry based on the fruity elements that got you there.
Yeah. Only the ending, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because the first blush of the sip, it just unfurls in this rich fruit, dark fruit.
And those are the kinds of, fruity, sweet notes that typically cling on a finish.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a lot of cling on that finish with the sweeter elements. You're left with something that's a little bit more dry.
I love it. Floral.
Super good.
Rich.
Yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Like
this is one of my preferred new compass boxes, I think.
Super good. Josh Matthews says, insert long drawn out story here so Daniel looks at this comment.
I thought that was funny.
He knows the game. It's nostalgic at this point, but I'll be happy to see a new intro for Vault 2.0.
Yeah, we're going to do a new intro?
You have a plan yet?
You mean instead of like, welcome to the Whiskey Vault, I'm Daniel, I am Rex.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah, sure.
It will involve dancing. No. Choreographed dances.
No. Unless you consider the Napoleon Dynamite Happy Hands Club a choreograph. Patrick Fulmer. I'm very thankful that MGP whiskeys are really good. No,
right?
Many of the middle shelf products of good quality were distilled there. Mm-hmm. All of our collections are better for it.
Yeah. That's one of the things I was saying too. Man, can you imagine if the single largest provider of sourced whiskey in the U.S. for most of our lives was making bad whiskey?
Yeah. Well, yeah, and there wouldn't be nearly as many MGP on the shelf if it was bad, but still, being that big, you're going to have a big presence in the market.
Or if at any point they decided to just start phoning it in and it went from being really good to being bad.
Right.
Which they haven't done.
Right.
So I'm going to go on record as saying of these two, because it's my flavor profile preference, I love the Compass Box Great King Street Artist Blend.
I would say...
But well, let me finish. But this is the best Dickel I've ever put in my mouth.
Challenge accepted. For just, enjoyments, right here. For uniqueness, right here.
Yep.
Okay, here's Spike stealing and drinking.
If you fight, may you fight for a friend.
Steal, may you steal a lover's heart.
And if you drink, may you drink with us.
Hey, thanks for hanging out with us in the Whiskey Vault. Don't forget to throw in a like, hit that subscribe button on the bottom right, and drop a question or comment down below.